Alright. I'm gonna go over the clues we have right now. There's 18 clues. They were dead before the blast because they've been stabbed a single time, but it went through the body. But they were also struck in the head with a pipe, or something equal to a metal pipe. But the body was already covered with other wounds. But they were several days old. Covered with other wounds? How long has this body been dead for? Explosion has burnt the upper half. So, there's something already wrong with the bottom half being dry because of the sprinkler system. Fake nails, okay. Oh, okay, there's two separate things. Oh, but there's a tarp. Oops. How did they never talk about this? Like, no one brought up the knife that Makoto was supposed to be holding. Like, literally no one brought it up. They're probably gonna bring it up during the trial, though. The tarp. One side was wet and filthy with mud and grime, and then the other side was completely dry and clean. I don't understand where the chickens are gonna come into play, but I'm sure it's gonna be mind-blowing. Or maybe it's a red herring. Someone covered the corpse. Because it was dry. Besides us extinguishing the fire. I'm just letting you guys know this might be the trial I have the most trouble with. Which is because I'm kinda loopy right now. I'm gonna try my best, and we're gonna keep going at this, even if I fail, until we beat this. I'm not giving up on this. Okay. Oh, the killer had fried chicken for dinner? Dang, dude. By 2. I don't think I really used the focus gauge, though. I'm pretty sure what I have equipped is, like, my best in slots right now. Because completely setting my aim is, like, insane. That is, like, bizarre, insane. These two are like a combo pair. And then we increase damage. And we have more bullets. Yeah, I think I have the best in slot. Louis, that's actually offensive.
Basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
What? Hello? Hero?
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
He's speechless.
But she has legs and stuff.
Compelling argument right there.
Well, that's just because... she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology!
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
What the heck is
Then
going
let's
on?
compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
What important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
I actually can't believe how long it took for me to decide that choice. I was like, is it her face? Nah, it's kind of burned, huh? I was really thinking about it, though.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
Hey, Wolfluff, thanks for the host.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Dude, I'm gonna get destroyed on the rhythm game part of this. Oh my gosh, I can already feel it. My tummy's gonna be all jumpy from all the energy drinks I've been chugging. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... arguments are ready?
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I don't remember what bullets I have. I think one was the fingernails. We have the body analysis thing. Alright. We're not arguing against Hina, so I don't think it's that. He must have been wearing gloves. Clearly it's the nails, but I need to make sure. What was the exploded body analysis? Okay, that doesn't explain anything, so it's probably the nails. I think the tattoo was the other one. So, let's just check.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
I forgot how to speed this up.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
Okay, it's the
This
tattoo on the
entire
right hand, I think.
discussion is idiotic.
I actually don't know. Maybe I have to grab the first part. No, because both the tattoo and the fake nails would explain it. I think I just need to grab this. No, wait. Wasn't wearing gloves. No, it's the fake nails. I'm stupid. Okay, it's definitely the fake nails. What's the purple text? They're called white noise. You have to press right click to like disable them, and it gives you extra time. Yeah, but it's called white noise, and it'll block your shot if you hit it. So they're obstacles as you're shooting the bullet, so you have to know when they pop up, and you have to know where they appear. And usually the crosshair's moving, so like even that's moving. But we have that skill that disables the crosshair wobble. Okay.
Kyoko there is just a ghost.
I think it's spacebar. Let's try that. Oh,
Okay,
it's not that.
prove
That's
it.
the focus
Prove
thing.
She's not a ghost.
Is it
The
control?
dead body wasn't wearing.
They got burnt off in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is
whoops.
absolutely
Oh, thank God.
Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Okay.
That
Kyoko there. Okay,
then prove it.
The dead body wasn't
Okay,
wearing
let's
gloves.
stop here.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
This one.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong.
Be patient with me, guys. I'm falling asleep.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
What?
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Nice one.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
these gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
For anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Alright. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be the exploded body analysis. No, wait, maybe not. Well,
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
okay, that's the tattoo.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Which one do I shoot, though? I think it's the second one I shoot. Yeah, because the face doesn't matter. Scorched beyond recognition doesn't matter. I think it has to be the second one I shoot.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so.
I don't know where these spinners are gonna be, though.
Beyond recognition, and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
I got it.
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
For real? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
Dude, I swear I just saw, like, a bug in the corner of my eye. Like, you know, off to the side of your peripheral vision. I think I saw a roach.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Oh my gosh. I'm like really scared, like to the right of me.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Actually, it's just a roach. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information... Wait, what am I looking for? Oh, shoot, I was so focused on the roach. If you compare the tattoo to other information we have... I think it's that profile. I'm just gonna do this. I don't know what we're looking for.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Oh, great. Wolf. Wolf.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
I think that was the easiest Hangman's Gambit that we've ever had so far in the entire game.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
You got it.
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir.
That's actually not completely true, though. And someone could have just tattooed it after, you know? But, you know, we'll just go with the flow.
So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
I feel like that's, like, a really bad logical fallacy, though.
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No, it means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Oh, no.
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba?
I really hope no one hates the fact that I'm gonna defend her with my life. No matter what. No matter what this game does to me, we're gonna try to defend Purple Girl. That's all her name is. It's not Kyoko, she's just a perp.
She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
Monka.
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Oh, she got really offended by that one.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
What?
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
I'm just like totally defaulting to anything that comes out of his mouth is wrong. Like 100% failure.
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be 2 suspects.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
I can't believe this game is trying to force me to memorize these things when I'm this deprived of sleep. Well, actually, I don't think I'm deprived of sleep, it's just I think I'm falling asleep.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Oh, you see, I went to a birthday dinner at a really fancy steak restaurant. So I ate a huge steak, and now it's 4:30 in the morning. It's 4:26 in the morning, actually, on Monday. I'm like a zombie mode right now. So I'm I'm like, I don't know if you know the term the itis, but I'm like dying right now. I was like dozing off throughout this chapter. I can't even think straight, but I need to finish this chapter. I need to. So I'm powering through this, and I might make some mistakes, but we're gonna get through this chapter.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay then, it looks like the game has begun. What did he just say? Because I don't remember. I can't provide an alibi for that period, and I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Sprinkler system. This is where it's coming into play. I was wondering why the sprinklers go off at a very specific time.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto,
Hold on.
if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Loaded. I know it's the sprinklers, but I need to check these. Here's the bullets real quick. I know it's the sprinklers. I'm just making sure. Because I don't trust my judgment right now. $10 o'clock at night or 7:30. Alright, well, I'm just gonna throw the sprinklers at 7:30 and see what happens.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Actually, I think it's the first one. Yeah. Yeah, my bad. Hold on.
Shoot! We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
What?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
What?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler,
Hey, thanks, Strange Lion. Appreciate that.
you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. My reaction right now is the same as Makoto's face in the upper center. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. You look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Oh, shoot.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! How can you say it wasn't the—
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Oh my gosh, Hiro actually using his brain. Amazing. Can we get a round of applause for Hiro? Oh my gosh.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Did I just tomb my waifu? Oh no! Which would mean that Makuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing.
Oh.
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Oh.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Oh boy.
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something at the scene was used to cover the body. Could it have been the tarp?
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did.
Louis, I was thinking about things of the chickens. Well, could the chicken have kept it dry?
The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Man. You know, she's out to kill us right now. But she's winning my heart. Oh. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. It was used the way Kyoko said. The tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Okay, where in the world do I do this? The blood on the body hadn't dried yet. Okay, that's a big clue somewhere. I think it's this, the body before the explosion. I forgot what the last one... Oh, it's fragments. Okay, so it's most likely the body before the explosion. Where would I put it? Okay. Didn't get dirty. Could it be the last one? I feel like it's not that though. Only dirty on one side. I need to look at the tarp again, hold on. Please be patient while I figure this out. One side was wet and filthy with mud and grime, the other side was completely clean and dry. Blood was still wet. No blood on the ground. I have to do the, I think it didn't get dirty, honestly. It's either was protected from the water or didn't get dirty. It was protected from the water, so that's not an argument, but the fact that it didn't get dirty, the blood...
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on
Was the sprinkler, but the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
it's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
Welcome back, Minnie-May.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
I give him a nice try, I guess, for that.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Oh no, the chicken! Who would do that to the chicken?
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
Can we have a moment of silence for the chickens, please? Alright, thank you guys.
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
I guess the chickens were actually the victims.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Oh, whoa.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Oh, man. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Whoa, we got another truth bullet from that.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
What?
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Oh, they're finally bringing up the knife.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
This is why I don't understand why I didn't bring it up earlier. Hello?
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
You dumb. Oh, it's all over. I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. How are we gonna do this? What's the argument here? The fragments? Nah.
The knife we found lodged in the dead
Oh, this
body.
is a long one.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So
Oh.
there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Pretty established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. What's that new evidence? I don't think we have... No, we got fragments and then exploded body analysis, I think. I think it has to be this disguised dead body thing. Anyone we gave Makoto. I don't remember what my evidence was, so I'm gonna go through this again. Wait, what did he just say? When the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
I think it might be the exploded body analysis.
If he did have that knife before,
That seals it. Just because I had the knife, that automatically makes me the killer?
well, getting stabbed is what...
So there's no
question! You took that knife of yours and...
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
I'm trying to figure out which evidence I need to use for which part of this. So, getting stabbed gave to Makoto. So we had the exploded body analysis, the disguised dead body, and the fragments. What I thought before. Not this. I think it has to be the disguised dead body bullet. I think I need to grab something. The was stabbed. I think I need to grab that. The getting stabbed. No, that doesn't make sense. Wait, let me check the blue text one more time. We already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. It means that when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body... Hold on, sorry guys. I know it's something about the getting stabbed. But which evidence correlates to that? I think I'm gonna just guess at this point. I don't think it's... I think I do need to grab the stabbed and shoot into the other one, but... I don't think that evidence refutes that. You know what, I just can't think right now. I'm just gonna shoot it into the second one and see what happens. I'm sure it's gonna be wrong, but I need to do something.
The knife we found lodged in the dead. It's the same one we. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it! Makoto did it!
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed him.
Oh, it actually was that?
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
I just couldn't figure out if that correlated to that evidence. Like, just that statement.
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Was it? Did I just put this?
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
I still don't know how she survived that explosion, by the way.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, I see.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
I was wondering when this evidence was gonna go into play.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Ouch.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
Nice try.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Oof.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. Did I pass it? I think I did. Is it just this?
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. we still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Oh boy, here we go. We only get that? I'm gonna have to grab something, I'm pretty sure.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file...
Blunt force, right?
That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Okay. So I think I need to grab one part of any of that and then shoot it somewhere else. The knife was a cover-up and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Definitely don't think it was the explosion. I think it was the countless wounds. I'm pretty sure. I am going to shoot the countless wounds into the first argument here.
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal injury.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Oh, shoot.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't because of the knife. And then there's only...
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless
Give me
wounds
that.
across her entire body. Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
What?
correct?
Okay, hold on. I screwed something up. So it's the blunt force? Alright, I'm gonna go for the blunt force.
Shoot!
Then shall we continue?
The victim's fatal injury has...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well,
Yeah. She was...
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file... That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
and more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No, that's wrong.
No, you start a checkpoint, but you lose your grade, basically.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
You see, every time like they have a new like topic that they're discussing, it just resets just before that, basically. So you just have to redo what you just failed, basically. Because every time you move on to a new topic, it does another checkpoint. Dude, this pad update is crazy.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
What?
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
They want to kill each other? Is that what I just heard?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto.
What?
Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Can you stop handing this off to me? The real murder weapon. Better not be these titanium arrows. Oh my god. Please tell me it's the chickens. It's clearly the chickens. I think it's gonna be the stupid arrows. No, I feel like the arrows are the things that killed them, which is why I thought the old wounds was the thingy. The murder weapon was the dead body itself.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed him. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Dude, that'd be a horrible way to die. By the way, getting shot in the back of the head with a titanium arrow?
Arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. So many arguments. The thing I'm worst at. Bloody duct tape, here we go.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin. Talking back to Master! You have no right!
Calm it down. It wasn't thick enough. Wasn't thick. I don't... Alright, hold on. Bloody duct tape.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt that was the
Are
murder.
you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin. Talking back to Master!
Oh, I hit it too late.
No right!
Okay, hold on. Let's do this again.
The titanium, it was in the dojo.
I have no doubt that.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, that's wrong.
You have to literally snipe the word like an arrow.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, We also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
That would really suck, getting shot with a bunch of arrows in the back of the head. That is the worst way to die. What? Hello?
Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
Can you imagine getting hit by an arrow, a bundle of arrows in the back of your head?
And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Why is he so buddy with me?
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be connected to that dojo locker. I don't know if I should lie for her or what.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
What? What? He was protecting me? And does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... He killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
Oh god, you got him. What? Yakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? Oh my god, what did she do? When the body was found, okay.
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
What? Oh, man. Wait, but she had the skeleton key. Oh my god, what is going on? It's proof. I don't remember what bullet I have. So I'm assuming I shoot either the second one or the third one. There's proof. Maybe I shoot... No. Please don't talk about B3 in here. Because I plan to play it later. A locker key in my own room. I don't know if I'm supposed to grab there's proof. Wait, is she the one saying that? Okay, then I have to shoot it into his. I think I need to grab that third statement.
Those words you just spoke.
Like, when the body was found.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
I'm gonna grab her statement.
Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the... Is that what you're...
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence and then left the locker key in my own room. But could I really have done that?
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is gonna work, but I'm not positive.
Those words you just...
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, it's wrong.
What class trial
If
is this?
I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
This is, Act 5, Chapter 5, whatever, Case 5.
Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in.
But she has the skeleton key.
Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. Try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? Yeah, I already said I was gonna believe in her. I tried to believe in her earlier, but the game would not let me. It would not let me just tell her what was going on. I said at the beginning of this trial, I'm gonna do whatever she tells me to do, or try to protect her, regardless of the outcome of this, because I couldn't do it earlier. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko, but what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I feel like I should save, hold on. The Mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? I feel like after all the BS that's gone through in this game, I feel like she's definitely someone you could trust. What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. Because, like, her two traits would be either she's, like, the ultimate thief, or she's the ultimate detective. And I'm pretty sure it's the second one. You spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? The ultimate chicken? Run away! Let's run away! I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Like, why would Kyoko tell you about the skeleton key if she knew it would, like, expose her? I feel like it's just another one of her really complex tests for, Makoto. I'm pretty sure that's how it would work. But it could also just be a trap.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What? It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second! You've got it all wrong! Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Uh-oh.
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time.
What?
So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Since it completed the chapter, I feel like this is scripted. This is staged. Hey, we got all A's, and I'm like falling asleep. I've been falling asleep since 4 hours ago. I was falling asleep during the dialogue. 79. Come on.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
Oh no, his face.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I believe in my classmates to save me. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Oh. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
They got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. But wait, why do I... Kyoko...
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Oh, maybe he's just actually dead. I feel like someone's gonna save him, though. Oh my gosh. Until I see him actually die, I don't believe in this at all. What is he teaching him? I was actually getting really scared there for a second. Oh my gosh, it happened at such a last second. What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego? Alter ego? This is some stupid virus from that stupid guy. He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this!
It would seem...
You finally made a miscalculation. No. You miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
In other words,
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch. An itch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit, in a way that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. Like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. Hundreds of years of tradition sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. Must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Oh, this really does sound like it's where he belongs. Good job, Makoto. You found your home. Heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. How does he know that? What? I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. I feel like Makoto is made to be really dumb so that you feel really smart. Like, you feel like, you know what? You're his luck. You're the ultimate luck. The player and everyone around is his luck. Because without us, he would be dead, like, immediately, several times over. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First step was to start looking for a way out of there. You know, just because Hajime is dumb, doesn't mean Makoto's not dumb. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. You're right, Munch. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decide to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink, and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. What a problem solver right here. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. A crunch? What kind of sound is that? What the? Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. Gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey,
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. You can talk once you're finished. My savior! My goddess! Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, a nudes folder? Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Shuckler, I can't run TF2 on my new computer. TF2 somehow runs at 40 FPS when I have a GTX 1080 and an i7 7700K. And I don't want to play TF2 at 40 FPS as a Scout Sniper player. So it's not that I don't want to play TF2, it's the fact that I can't play TF2. Don't even joke about telling me what to do, because I've tried every fix trying to fix this. I've even replaced parts, and I still can't run TF2. It's amazing. Probably the most amazing Source game ever made. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew. Is he calling her stupid? Hello?
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. Abandon you? Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You're trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but... there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. Do you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. I chose to trust her. I didn't know there were alternate endings in this game. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia. Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. Couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the Mastermind's plans. So the Mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
It could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the Mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the Mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The Mastermind? One of us? If you believe that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the Mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the Mastermind. I feel like he would be like the perfect disguise for the Mastermind, though.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
But see, what if he locked up his intelligence because he's that smart? Think about it. Think about it. Makoto would be the perfect rat. Just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others. Oh my gosh. We're the only person she trusts in the world. Amazing.
correct.
I know I never asked you for your help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Who saw that coming? I'm pretty sure it was like the most obvious thing in the world. She was either the ultimate thief or the ultimate detective. I mean, it's not only that she dresses the part, it's the fact that she acts like a detective the entire game. No way. This is the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen in a game. The ultimate detective? No. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy? There was someone I had to find here in the school. He was on a case. You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? What? Okay, wait, what? What? Because he's my father. Same reaction.
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Yoko's dad. is Hope's Peak's headmaster? And that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way.
Huh?
Oh. Forgot not to read these flashbacks.
No matter what?
So,
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen, and when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of a map?
Indeed.
The layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Makuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. He went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there. A Splitzo Bear.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. Hard to describe. All I can say is... The moment I saw it, I realized... Whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
However...
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there are no cameras and no monitors. Why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Makuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Makuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Hey, you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. I mean, because of the school regulations.
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Makuro Ikusaba. What's that? There's a point where Makuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim.
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You mean... during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell. I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murderer was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Makuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. You just said indeed. Hello? But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill... I'm running out of breath. Hold on. The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Makuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. I could totally see her stalking Makoto. Not even kidding. I think that's a legit... I can't even think of the word. Theory. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Makuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. And that is our real enemy. I'm getting tongue-tied by these. Wait, is that the end? I'm like falling asleep. I really wanted to beat this tonight, but I didn't think that steak would kill me like this. I'm being murdered by meat right now. You know how when you eat like a ton of meat, you like get really sleepy? I'm probably going to I'm gonna continue this maybe tomorrow, depending on how my voice is. I still need to play Monster Hunter and Fortnite when I wake up, though. So in the afternoon, I'm probably going to be playing those two games. Then around the same time at night, I'm probably going to be continuing Danganronpa, as long as my voice is intact, because sometimes I lose my voice after these long playthroughs. I think we're nearing the end, though. It feels really close to the end because there's not many people left alive. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys later today, ideally when I wake up in like an hour. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.